Final Fantasy XIII-2. The story so far, Chocobo.
We can catch him!
And here we go. Every one of them was unique. They all died.
Now what?
It's up to you to keep hope alive.
Notably absent from that recap, pretty much anything important that happened in the ending.
So, since that is, in fact, the final recap, I just wanted to make sure I got a Mog one in just for you.
Thanks? I think? No, not thanks. The other thing.
Okay, so today we're doing Serendipity. It is the game's casino.
Cause what JRPG is complete without a casino side quest? Especially a JRPG that's in a panicked attempt to be massively apologetic about how un-JRPG the last one was like. So they've really gone and thrown everything at it this time. Which means we get casino bullshit.
It's not too bad. It's pretty inoffensive, all things considered.
Unless you're going for achievements.
I never bothered to go for achievements, so I don't know how horrific this place is.
Oh, it's pretty horrific. But it's horrific for one very specific and actually quite tiny reason, which I'll tell you all about when we actually get to the relevant parts. For the most part, this game isn't too bad for people who really care a lot like trophies.
I don't think it's a theme park. Maybe a
I mean, not that I care a lot about trophies or anything.
I've seen anything like it before.
Certainly haven't gotten them all in this game. Anyway...
So yeah, the casino employs an interesting dress code.
Interesting.
Yes, for example, we have this cat. We have the cat girl here.
That's certainly one word.
All sorts of people come here for different reasons. Don't worry, we won't
I'm-
get in the way of you having fun.
Remarkably, I think the dress code is the least remarkable thing about this lady.
I don't really know much about gambling or placing bets. All the better. You've heard of beginner's luck, haven't you?
I mean,
To play the game,
you are hearing this. You're hearing the same thing that I'm hearing, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What even is that?
I couldn't even begin to tell you what kind of accent that's supposed to be.
So, do we just not have Mog for this, then?
Yes, Mog just kind of runs off and does whatever he wants.
Well, okay.
I shouldn't say that. What he is, he's actually over in the area to the left there.
That's a very important area here.
Yeah, but we'll get to that once we check out everything else here.
I do like watching the patrons get excited about letting their bets ride. They look so hopeful.
Oh, what a pleasant and relatable attitude for a casino worker.
Show off your Chocobo.
Although I guess it, that's what they'd hire for.
Some areas are still under construction. I hope you come back
By the DLC.
enjoy the new attractions.
Yeah. Of course, she says that as though, buying the DLC will add the attraction to this casino. But no, it doesn't. It's just an entirely separate thing. That building will never be finished.
Yeah, the DLC, it adds 2 new games, but you can only play them in the DLC. It's dumb.
It's like that stupid thing where,
I'm here to assist you with
instead of fixing a problem, we just unlocked an alternate timeline where the problem never happened. Only with game content.
You'll need to
So, does anyone not know how slot machines or card tables work? No? Good. It's pretty bog standard, really.
Yeah, and just for the record, the card tables are the thing that are not available.
Oh, it's good that they're telling us about them already. Otherwise, how would anyone think to buy the DLC?
Well, my friend, this is a haven, a little morsel of heaven. We stand
Um.
far above the dull reality of the outside world. This is a place that only exists in dreams, a happy notion, a manifestation of the mind.
Is it almost
This-
like a rift in
This guy is weird.
If that's what
Yeah, well, he owns this place, and this place is pretty fucking weird.
Yeah.
Time time stands still
But
in this casino.
but yeah, there's this kind of a weird thing with serendipity where it's like it's supposed to be like this final haven for people who die, so that they can just enjoy
Welcome. This
their
is
life.
music
They can just kind of enjoy themselves before fading into nothing.
First, you'll need to purchase
It's kind of weird and a little morbid, to be honest.
coins. You can come back and trade them in for
Yeah, it's like the last thing that happens before you finally disappear from the,
prizes.
I guess what we can loosely term mortal reality, is to have all of your money taken from you by a casino at the end of time. What do they do with it?
Lord only knows, my friend.
So yeah, there were some items in that prize booth.
There are indeed, and we are going to buy some of them.
Most of the fragments that are associated with this place are, you know, you can get them from the shop. In fact, the bullshit thing that I'm thinking of, I can't remember if it's a fragment or if it's just an achievement, because one of those things is much worse than the others.
Oh, if it's the thing I'm thinking of, it's just a fragment.
Well,
Blessed by the goddess of fortune.
if it's a fragment, that's much worse, because that means that you need it to actually see all of the stuff in the game and not just to get the platinum trophy. Because there's a couple of levels of care that you can go to about, you know, finishing a game. You can be seeing all the content and you can be getting all the trophies. And some trophies are completely, utterly ignorable.
It's like a hot summer's day.
Whereas in this game you'd want to be, even if you didn't care about the trophies, you might still want the fragments. So, hey, this sure is a slot machine, and I almost like it. Almost.
Yeah, you can see me fumbling around trying to figure out how the fuck the controls work, but there we go.
Also, it has a massively overwrought tutorial if you choose to view it. That takes like about 5 minutes to go through. But the really short version is, you put money in the machine and you pull the lever, and sometimes you line things up and a good thing happens, and sometimes a really good thing happens that puts you in a mode where even more good things can happen. And sometimes in that mode, a really, really good thing can happen that can put you in an even better mode where really, really impossibly good things can happen. That about sum it up?
Yeah, about. I mean, it's a slot machine. There's really nothing that we can say that you don't already know about this game.
One of the things I you know, kind of miscellaneously do like about this is that it does the, whenever a really valuable symbol lines up two of them, it does the and then the third one doesn't, and it's just, yeah, playing with emotions. Anyway, the slot machine is behind the most bullshit thing in this game, which is that there is, I think it's a fragment, either that or a trophy, that requires you to make a, I think it's like 77777 profit.
I think it's only 4 sevens, but yeah, the point still stands.
Yeah, it's a stupid amount of coins, and it's not just, you know, own that many coins at once. It's literally win that many coins, as in have a net profit since starting playing. So if you buy a load of coins and then lose them all, it counts against you. So you can't get it by just buying a whole bunch of coins, and you can't get it by like gradually building up wins over time. You have to make a sustained profit. And you can either do it massively unbearably slowly here at the Chocobo races, or you can just keep playing the slot machines again and 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 again until you finally win huge.
Yeah, I think the way I got that particular fragment when I played the PS3 version, it was that I started the slots and I literally just taped down my L1 button.
Yeah, sounds about right. So hey, people like Chocobo racing, right?
Oh yeah, people love Chocobos.
So let's get some easy goodwill by putting some kind of Chocobo racing in this game. How hard can that be, right?
Okay, so yeah, there's so much to talk about with Chocobo races. So yeah, this is me actually reading this because I do not remember anything about Chocobo races. It's dumb stuff.
You grind your chocobos until they get real good, and then you put them in the races, and they win the races, and then you unlock better races that are harder.
Yes, that's about it, yeah.
And there's some secret bullshit stats that may or may not matter.
Well, yeah, it's like you get different bonus abilities based on what combat abilities your Chocobo has, and it gets better stats the higher level it is. And then you have different strategies about, where you want to start in the race and what condition your Chocobo is in. And it's a whole bunch of just layers of bullshit that don't really mean anything.
There's kind of a thing in video games sometimes where they try and wow you with, look at all of this stuff that's going on under the hood. And sometimes that's just the exact wrong thing to do. You just want to keep the top level of it simple. It's cool if it's actually has some depth to it when you get into it, but honestly, a lot of this stuff just makes the whole thing seem dumb and utterly unapproachable. Which, to be honest, it kind of is anyway, so, oh well. Have another Chocobo theme remix.
Yep, this sure is Chocobo race.
See, it has the music and everything. That's how you can tell that it's related to Chocobos. I mean, honestly, what the hell even is there to say about any of this? They go around in a circle. You have fuck all control over it, except you can engage the boost at a strategically optimal moment of your choosing, or not. But the entire thing is automated. You have no real control over any of it. At least it's over a bit faster than some of the races in 7.
Oh, and by the way, you see where it says RP consumption there? That's important, because every Chocobo has a number called its RP. And that is essentially your stamina. And when that runs out, your Chocobo cannot do any more races. So you have to withdraw them, and when you do that, you lose all of the rankings that you've gained from all that racing.
Yeah, game design.
So, that one costs 10 RP, and our red Chocobo has, 145. So, we could do, 14 more races of that. And then that's it. He can never do another race again until I pull him out and and just start over.
Game design. I mean, honestly, what is the point of any of this? Why would anyone actually engage with this system? I mean, for all the shit that I'll talk about races in 7, it had a point. There was a reason, an actual in-game reason that wasn't just some stupid trophy. Well, I guess technically, in a sense it was a stupid trophy, but go with me on this. There was an actual reason why somebody would sink hours and hours and hours and hours into racing Chocobo. It was building up to something. What the shit is this building up to?
It's apparently very, very profitable at higher levels, but I don't...
Yeah, profit being casino coins.
Right, and you can buy all of the coins that you need to get, everything important with, 40,000 coins at most.
Mm-hmm. And that will still fuck you over if you're trying to get that one achievement. So, if you actually buy things. But yeah. No, it's even if you could transfer casino coins into real money, there's not a whole lot of point for that either. Even when you're going for the stupid rare monster materials, once you reach a certain point, you can't even buy those in the shop anymore. You have to get them as drops. You can only buy the generic one, and at the kind of level that you're talking about, if you want to get good at monsters, the generic ones kind of suck anyway. So Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that is something to be noted, since it did just come up. Now that we have beaten the game, we can buy all of the tier 1 to 4 materials and the potent level 5 materials, but none of the specialized ones.
Yeah, you can never buy the specialized top tier materials. Like I said, the only way to get them is to grind a whole bunch. Probably an Arc step. And it's really annoying.
And it should also be pointed out that the top tier materials are expensive as shit. We're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 to 8,000 gil a pop. And you start needing, and when you start getting into the high level monsters, you need 5 crystals per level, 6 crystals per level, 8 crystals per level.
Yeah. It's really ludicrous. And, you know, there's also not really a whole lot of point in it, because you can break the game massively with only the basic stuff. All of the hardest stuff in the game is, like, you know, you can do it with a very small number of monsters that you don't need to raise a whole lot anyway.
Congratulations! It looks like time was on your side.
And the DLC doesn't, like, for the most part, doesn't factor this stuff into it. And, you know, I guess there's the Colosseum. But, you know, there's very little point in engaging with this stuff all the way until its conclusion. It just doesn't work. Oh well. Also in 7 you could win items, like actual useful items, interesting items, like rare materia, useful shit. Stuff you'd want. Even if you didn't care about the ultimate endpoint of Chocobo racing, there was still another point. There were 2 points to it.
Well, to be fair, there is, you do get prizes for these races. Like, right now I'm only getting potions, because these are the absolute lowest level ones, but apparently, like I said, I don't know what the high-level prizes are. I presume there must be something worthwhile there.
I wouldn't put it past them. Or, you know, what does this game have to offer, really, in terms of consumables? I mean, there's weapons, but...
I mean, there's weapons, there's elixirs, and...
A game like this wouldn't give away elixirs. Like, you could get, like, 2 elixirs in 13 if you knew what you were doing. Well, actually, I guess you could get 4, because you can dismantle shit and get doctor's codes. Something about doctor's codes that dismantle into elixirs. I think if you upgrade one the whole way, I want to say, if you take a doctor's code and you fully upgrade it, you can dismantle it into an elixir, and I think there's 3 doctor's codes in the whole game. So I guess that means if you really, 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 really know what you're doing, you can get 4 elixirs.
Congratulations!
In 13. So, I don't know, maybe this bears looking up.
Today's not my day.
So yeah, that's Chocobo Racing.
Isn't it exciting?
It's great fun. My favorite minigame.
Well, in comparison to what, other minigames in this game?
Comparison to the slots.
That is a fair comparison.
Because that's the only thing you can do unless you get the DLC in Serendipity, and it's really fucking dumb.
I can believe it. Yeah, maybe all the stuff about classic JRPGs wasn't actually all that true after all. Maybe all of it was just lip service into things that they thought that classic JRPGs did, that they thought that they could easily market to people who were jaded after playing 13 and they were desperate to win back.
Well, we're not exactly sure what they...
Nah.
Alright, so that brings us here. This little tent has the Mystic, and she will tell us what she will do is that she will give us special skills based on what fragments we have. So, you know, if we complete, like, all of the Mog's Wisdom fragments, then we get an ability that lets us reduce the cost of buying things by 25%, or some bullshit like that. There's like 15 or so skills, and they all have a whole bunch of different requirements for how you unlock them, but they're all really They all just, like, break the game in a bunch of different ways.
Oh, a lot of them are quite welcome. So this is a weird one. Yep, standard so far. See, that's the one we should have had for... So yeah, there was some good stuff in there. Especially if you're into collecting monsters. And, you know, that's kind of a thing in this game. And for some reason, a lot of these are toggleable. I mean, why would you ever turn most of this stuff off? Ever. Why? Why would you do it?
Yeah, the only ones that you would ever really actively toggle are the ones that control the encounter rate and the paradox scope.
Oh, I can think of at least one other that most players would choose to toggle, but... you know... I guess we'll get to that. So here we go, hang on a minute, I'm this close to figuring out what the prizes are. But yeah, the fragment skills are almost always welcome. I can get by them. Okay, here we go, prizes. Potion. Yeah, turns out the prizes are pretty unremarkable. You've got basic collectible items, potions and shit. You've got a couple accessories. And you can, there we go, you can get elixirs. I guess there is a point to all this after all. Maybe.